Timcast IRL will be live in Miami with Patrick Bet David, Donald Trump Jr., Matt Gaetz, and Luke Rudkowski. Join us there. Get your tickets by clicking the link in the description below or by going to timcast.com. I want to jump to this next story. Ladies and gentlemen, and now for the coup de grace from nzherald.co.nz. Donald Trump suggests feeding migrants to alligators to fix overrun border security. Spoiler, no, we didn't. But I absolutely love the headline.
I am curious how many migrants it would take to be fed to alligators before they would stop.
This is what Trump posted. Trump posted a meme on Truth Social.
Disavow.
He wrote, "Problem solved," and it says new border security, and it's a bunch of alligators.
Disavow.
Are those difference? What's the difference? Like crocodiles have like skinnier faces, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm not an animal zoologist.
They both look really hungry.
Will work for food. Trump did not suggest feeding migrants to alligators because their headline implies Donald Trump said, what if we capture a migrant and then throw them into an alligator den? What Trump was saying is a meme based on an old story. This is from New York Times 2019. Shoot migrants' legs and build alligator moat behind Trump's ideas for the border. It was a widely reported story that Donald Trump wanted to put a bunch of alligators in the Rio Grande. This is not real life. These are hoaxes. The media is full of crap. And once again, they're full of crap. Trump posted a joke, but I absolutely love the headline. Like the reality these people live in. I mean, no wonder Howard Stern hates Trump. I mean, if I legitimately thought Trump was going to kidnap migrants and throw them into alligator pits, I'd be really concerned as well.
Well, this goes back to the consuming the headlines, digesting these crazy headlines, and then people actually believe it. This will probably be brought up in one of the debates as an actual question.
Yeah. Donald Trump,
they're going to say that he threw them into the alligator's mouth.
Exactly.
Right. Going to say.
So now we have this one. Look at this tweet from Bill Malugan. It's a total free-for-all in Eagle Pass right now. Mass illegal crossing taking place for over an hour and a half, almost 2 years to the day. We saw 15,000 Haitians under the bridge in Del Rio. We now have thousands of predominantly Venezuelans gathering under Eagle Pass Bridge. Yeah, I'm sorry, dudes. Like, the Republicans don't have your back. Democrats don't have your back. They're selling you out. They're gutting the system, and they're doing it with a smile on their face. So if this is the situation we have, and to be completely honest, I would say Trump joking about it is inappropriate. Inappropriate. Why? Well, the joke's funny, but we need real action. This is a desperate situation. There's an emergency declaration in Eagle Pass. Take a look at this from the Daily Mail. Eagle Pass, Texas declares state of emergency as shocking photos show it being overwhelmed by migrants with 4,000 streaming across the border today. 4,000 today. You know why the mayor wants money? Why he declared a state of emergency? He wants money from the federal government to help these people and bring more in. Yeah, they're not stopping it. They're not issuing a state of emergency to be like, help, it must stop. They're saying, no, state of emergency, we need more money. Give us more so we can send them to your home in New York.
Yeah, and this is, I mean, that's what Alejandro Mayorkas testifies to, where they're like, you're doing nothing to stop this invasion. He's like, actually, we made an app that makes it very easy for people to come in legally. And it's like, that's the opposite of what we want you to do, dude. Like, that's literally the opposite. And I mean, it's the same thing that's happening in the Italian island Lampedusa. Where there's now, Lampedusa, where there's now 18,000 migrants to a native population of 6,000. Yeah. This is a coordinated plan, right? This is a coordinated, well-funded, these NGOs and supranational organizations like the UN are paying for people to travel, instructing them how to get around the American law. Every single one of these organizations should be rooted out and arrested and charged with, conspiring to circumvent American laws. And none of these people are actual asylum seekers. None of them are refugees.
No, they're economic migrants.
Yeah. So I mean,
there's some Chinese that are coming over the southern border that are coming as actually refugees. They're trying to escape China. But
generally speaking, 90+% are not refugees.
Yeah.
They are economic migrants. Especially with Lampedusa, the UN issued this report in like 2017 or whatever. These are economic migrants seeking jobs in Europe. That's it. And the media lies and calls them refugees over and over and over again because they're evil. And they don't look at what's happening when, look, you take a group of people who have one set of morals and another group of people with a different set of morals, and they fight. We want to avoid that. We want people to live together. And so you look at what's happening in Europe and you have these stabbings, these murders, these horrible crimes. And it's like, well, you're not properly assisting the integration of people into your country, you're opening your border and letting them run straight through. What happens? Violent crime. And then that breeds more racism. People take issue and they assume race is the problem when the reality is two different cultures that don't mesh. And how about the reality of nature? People who don't have stuff are going to take it when they want it. So in Lampedusa, you've got these videos of people setting up barricades. What are they supposed to do? These people come to the island and now they're like, now we need food, now we need shelter, now we need stuff. And if they can't fabricate it from thin air, they're going to take it from someone.
Yeah, and let's even zoom out from the kind of the political debate regarding this issue, and let's just look at the logistics. Logistically, this is impossible to handle for a country, large or small. So just pull back out of this and just recognize we cannot do this because we're not set up. We don't have the infrastructure necessary, strictly even from that perspective.
The fact that New York has basically buckled under the busing of just a portion of the migrants that are coming to Texas, and the city that has the financial services sector based in it. The city itself has city taxes, then there's state taxes as well, and they can't produce. They can't take care of migrants. They can't take to welcome the migrants, that just the ones that they're getting. It should indicate to the rest of America that these are massive problems that a handful of states are dealing with. People in New Hampshire aren't making a stink about the people that are coming into the country because it doesn't affect them, right? And New York, they were very happy to be as NIMBY as it gets. They were like, you horrible people, you horrible racists down there on the border. Texas, you're full of racists. How dare you turn these people? How dare you not take care of them? And then they get a portion of them, and the infrastructure is buckling. They're falling apart. And now they're calling their mayor Donald Trump.
Yeah,
and
it's ridiculous.
They're calling him Trump.
I saw people saying that he had Donald
Build the wall.
Trump's. But the point is, like, the rest of the country should be able to see this and say, okay, I at least can understand, because obviously New York can't handle it. They're buckling under the pressure. So if New York City can't handle it with the infrastructure and the money and everything they do, you can't expect Texas and New Mexico and Arizona to handle the type of influx. It's not possible.
Well, and that's the beauty of what busing them to New York did, is you can't avoid it, right? Because these problems that are so massive in a place like Texas, where you have thousands of miles of unoccupied land, you can put them on a base somewhere, you can put them in a tent somewhere, and they don't actually affect the daily lives. Although then, a place like El Paso, they obviously do. Eagle Pass, they obviously do. And it is purely a matter of choice, right? Like we're choosing to have this happen. And I think the Haitian example is a great example, how there was 15,000 people. It was a crisis. It went on. And then there was like the scandal with the whipping. It got embarrassing. The next day they were gone. The next day it got taken care of. So it's not a matter of we can't handle this, we can't do this. This is all being done on purpose. This is all a choice that we're making. And I honestly don't see an end to this, to the extent that why wouldn't the people in charge want to keep a constant cycle going, where you've got the first world producing excess amounts of goods, shipping it to the third world, keeping their birth rates high, a pathway to where those people in the third world are moving into the first world. In the first world, the cultural and spiritual impetus is to strip them of all of their cultural identity, fold them into this global, homogenized, soulless, plastic society, where the people that come in don't have kids, either by choice or because they've been poisoned with the poison in the food and waters. So they die out within a couple generations, only to be replaced by another. So you've got this like laundry cycle continuously going, where nobody has any cultural staying power, basically. So there's never enough people with enough culture to overthrow the ruling class. It's just a constant influx of new people being brought in, deracinated, destroyed politically and spiritually, only to be replaced by another crop of people.
I think it's simpler than that. It's an eternal win for the Democrats.
Yeah.
Right. The Democrats look good when they say, "Oh, we should take care of people that come here. They're all refugees, et cetera, et cetera." They always have the nice sounding,
the emotional vote
pull, and that pays dividends. The people that come in, they're like, well, the Democrats were the people that want to have the services that provided me with help when I got in, or helped with my family, helped me get my family in. It's an eternal win for Democrats. It's a loser for the American people right? The American people are the ones that are paying for this. The American people have to make sure that the people that come into the U.S. have places to live, and they have to share resources and jobs and all sorts of things. Low skilled workers coming to the U.S. makes it harder to get jobs for Americans that are here. That's something that's clearly obvious. It's a bad thing for the American people, but as long as there are enclaves of wealthy people that are looking for migrant workers and stuff like that, or that are looking to vote with their heart and stuff like that, you're going to have Democrats that are going to be like, hey, we can't be mean to these people. We can't turn them away. We have to take care of them, etc. So it's literally an eternal win for Democrats as it destroys the country.
I just don't understand why we haven't started just sending everyone to Canada.
That's a great point, actually.
Hey, NAFTA.
Canada, the Canadian government would not be able to reject it. Way the super woke, they just be like, oh, we welcome diversity. It's like, all right. Yeah. New York's not far away, man. It's a couple hours.
I was going to say, it's about the same flight, right? From El Paso to New York versus El Paso up into Canada.
Just get some buses. Go bus ride to Montreal. It's only a couple hours. Beautiful. And then, I don't know. It'll be interesting. People don't realize this, though. There actually is a border crisis for Canada. Migrants are going to Canada.
Via where?
They're in upstate New York. I'm pretty sure that's where it's at. They're illegally crossing the border because it's easier to get into Canada than it is to get in the United States, obviously. Canada's got... There was a video I saw where some people just drove across the border and then tried sneaking in that way and they got caught. But it really is that easy. I mean, what do you think? All this empty wilderness, they're going to catch people walking just through the woods? There's actually a photo that went viral on Reddit a while ago where the border from Canada to the U.S. was a small chain, literally just a chain between two posts that was a foot off the ground and a sign hanging from it saying Canadian-U.S. border. And it was like someone lived there and they were like, yeah, if I go in my backyard, I'll be in the United States. And you just literally walk in. It's like, what do you do? Maybe the solution is we just ask, hey, Canada, we got a bunch of people. How would you like to have a bunch of people?
Yeah, they got the space.
Yeah, there's a lot of oil up there in the Northern Territories or wherever in Canada.
Amazing seafood.
They're going to find out that if you go to Canada and ask for health care, you might get killed. And people will be like, no, I don't want to go.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.